I am currently a college student. I am currently in university. Um, I am studying fintech. I am in my second year. Well, not really. I'm in my first year of the program. Really, I've taken maybe six full courses um, for this program. So I have a degree in network and computers security, which is why I currently work as a system administrator at a financial institution. Um, so, you know, a lot of I hate to I don't like to talk about finances and all this and all that like an expert because I haven't attained my degree yet to position myself as like expert in this area. But I do have knowledge in that area. I read, I research, I talk to the people who are expert, who hold all these Series 7s and all these different um, econ, master degrees and so forth and so on. And, the CFO of the company here, they're, when we hold these meetings and they share their perspective on the markets and things that are going on and their outlook for interest rates and so forth and so on. I am part of the conversation. I hear the conversation at a higher level than say somebody who isn't working in that kind of environment. So where am I going with this? I've made it was by mistake. It wasn't like because I was some kind of genius kid. Um, I've made the decision to go back to school to get a fintech degree because for me personally, I see the return. I can see and visualize the return in my head. I quite honestly would be in debt, probably like $40,000, $50,000 in debt when I get that degree. Um, maybe 30. I am blessed because I understand that debt is the way they keep you, you know, tied up forever and forever. Um, my credit card debt is very low. I only have $2,000 in credit card debt. Other than that, I am debt free. My car is paid off. Um, well, I guess I do own a house as well, but I don't really count that as debt for real. I have a loan under my name, like a house loan, but otherwise, I don't own no credit card companies, anything. The car that I drive is paid off. I live life pretty simple, like I wear the same t-shirts, simple black tee, brown tee, white tee every day. I don't have the need for a lot of stuff. My most expensive things that I spend on is food. I mean, look at me, I'm fat. I love to eat, so that's my biggest expense. I think I'm getting off track a little bit, but anyways, I am back in school, and as you all know, the government started to garnish wages for student loans. And as you all know as well, that student loans are not, you are not able to declare bankruptcy and get them taken away. Although people have found creative ways to get around that, if they have good credit. But my opinion still stands, and what is my opinion? My opinion is that school going to school and getting a degree for somebody like myself, as you can tell by my accent, who grew up in another country, whose parents, didn't go to university. I don't have any wealth that nobody left for me. Like I'm on my own, basically type shit. Like, of course, I have people in my corner, but like if I'm gonna make anything of myself, I'm on my own. Like if it comes to buying a car, I have to dish that money out. Not that I'm looking for help. I'm just explaining something. Um, Life looks different for people like myself, for people who grew up in this situation like myself, and then um, and that's just mean because I'm an immigrant. There are people who grew up in the United States who grew up very poor, with very little, as well. And statistically, going to school, going to university, getting a 4-year degree in a major is one of the quickest way to get yourself up and out of that situation, statistically. I mean, nowadays it's not looking too good, too good for us. We're cooked. Um, but I think in line of that, telling high school students that right after their 4 years in high school, going straight to a 4 year university is their best course of action. In my personal experience, in my personal opinion, that is a mistake. I think after you're done with high school, maybe you can get an associate's, or maybe you can go get some certifications, and maybe if you know somebody, get to work, or go to like some kind of like what do they call those other schools that's not university, a trade program. Go to a trade school, and that is my opinion. Why is that? Because I am slightly biased because I am going to school after having experienced work. You know, I've worked for 10 plus years in IT at this point. I started doing IT since I was in high school, really, like helping out in classes that we were taking, fixing computers and stuff like that. So I've had my fair share of experience. I've had the A plus since high school, and I'm an old man. Anyways, and that experience, having had that experience and being able to work for 10 plus years and learning more about myself, seeing what I'm actually good at in that field, increasing my knowledge, networking, switching jobs, learning different skills, learning different people. I'm also, I'm very social outside of, inside of work. I talk to people, get to know them. How did they get into their field? What would they do differently? What are they looking forward to? Just gathering data on what my next move is, or what the next thing is. And school is still good. The institution, it has its flaws like everything else, but I respect people. I respect academia, like quite honestly. People who are PhD holders or master degree holders, those people, sure, they don't have a certain amount of street smart. They lack certain stuff, but the stuff that they know it pretty well. Especially like people who hold PhDs and do research. Those people are like the definition of nerds. They are very smart. They are brilliant people. And most of those people, they go straight out of college or straight out of high school into that degree program, or straight into university. But for me personally, my opinion is that for most people, you should get to work first, get to know yourself. What do you like? Because when you're 18 years old, man, you're so young, man. Like, but hindsight is 2025, I guess. Well, 2026 at this point. Hindsight is 2026. Like, you at 18, you're so young. You might think that's who you are and that's what you want to do. You're so passionate about X, Y, and Z. You don't know. Like, the person that I was when I was 18 years old is so very different to the person that I am now at 28. Like, you're gonna change. Your views are gonna change. Your friends are gonna change. Your circle's gonna change. How you move, how you stand, how you operate is gonna change. Your emotions, how you regulate your emotion is going to change. Your lifestyle is going to change. If hopefully you keep increasing your income, so forth and so on. I was very into car when I was younger. Now I'm not anymore. Like I passed so many cars where I was spending so much money on repairing cars and so forth and so on. I don't do that anymore because I understand why I shouldn't do that. If you are into cars, that's your business. I'm not here to preach to you what you should do and what you shouldn't do with your money and with your resources. But for me personally, it just wasn't worth it. I purchased a Lexus because I like Lexus. And I also understand that it's very reliable. I can own my car flat out. I don't pay nothing but insurance and gas and maintenance. The maintenance, I do it myself. So I keep my expenses very low. But let's get back into the school thing. For me personally, school is an investment right now that is worthy. I think even if I get out of school with $50,000 in loan, the amount of money I can make back, I think I can double my income or more than double my income after I get my degree personally. Because I've already done the research based on the experience that I have working at a financial institution, getting my degree in financial technology. I know once I graduate, I will be able to more than double my income. For me, it's an investment that makes sense. I can see the future value of the money that I'm spending right now. Although, interest and blah, blah, blah. So where is this going? If you are 18 years old, I don't know what you're trying to do. And this might not apply to most people, like everything else. Like, my path is different. Your path is going to be different. But I can only speak for my experience and for the things that I know. And what is that advice? Go outside. Get to work. Network. Get to know people. And I think that's one of the things I didn't do earlier is networking. Network. Like being shy is okay, but you still have to network. You can be shy and network. Like, that's just one of the games you're going to have to play. Networking. At 18 years old, if you tell yourself like, okay, yes, I'm shy, but this is something that I'm gonna have to do. Get to know people. Get experience in different things. Not just the things that your parents want you to do or the things that you think that you're good at or you're okay at. Try things that you think you're not so good at. Or explore different avenues of the same things that you think that you're good at. And the more you learn, which is part of the Dunning-Kruger effect, the more you learn about a certain subject and the more you learn about yourself, the more you realize that you don't know anything for real. Even right now, I still have uncertainty. Even though I've done the research and I know that once I graduate, I will be able to get a job that will be able to multiply my income. And I'm even thinking about getting a master's degree, even though I know it's gonna be more debt. But my plan, I already have a plan. I plan on finishing my degree, getting a job that doubles my current income, live just like I'm living now, living like a bum. I'm gonna drive the same car, I'm gonna wear the same clothes. Of course, I like to eat. I'm gonna continue eating good and eating at good restaurants, which is something I do. I enjoy traveling. I'll still enjoy maybe going on vacation to some random place twice a year or once a year. My apartment, nothing fancy about it. I'm saying it's very old. It's one of those denty old apartments. The cheapest one that I could find. I guess my thing is just have a plan. Don't just. The rule used to be that if you go to college and you go to university, you're just gonna come out and get a job. We all know that's not the truth anymore. We all know that's not the thing. For it's been a while, and you're gonna get out of school with a whole bunch of debt. I feel like I have a flu. Like I was saying, I had a flu just now when I hopped on stream. I was feeling just fine before I hopped on stream. The student loan garnishing and them garnishing your wages, to me, that doesn't scare me because I already have a plan. That doesn't mean it's gonna work out. I could graduate and we're in World War III, the war breaks out, and and I still owe these people money if I survive. Somehow. which would be crazy if you think about it. That's just an example that things change. You can have a plan The biggest mistake that you can make in life is to have a plan. And that include the possibilities of failures, where you can fail in that plan. I know I can fail. It is, there's a 25% chance in there that after I graduate, I don't get a job, or I don't get the amount. I'm sure I'll get a job. That I am always certain about. That I don't get the certain amount of money that I think that I command in the marketplace with my experience and the shiny bold paper. But still have a plan. Don't think I'm gonna just go to school, follow these curriculums, use AI to pass my classes, and you're gonna get out and you're gonna get, your six-figure salary. I don't think it works like that anymore. My personal thing is experience. If you look at every single job description, they're asking you for 3 to 5 year experience of blah, blah, blah. And, when you go to school, you're not getting that experience. You still have time. Like, I'm 28 and I'm still in school right now. You don't have to wait like that. We all are in our own timeline. I'm just telling you, if you are younger, what mine is. And you could be way older. I know people who are in their 40s and still going to school. In 30s, still going to school, changing careers. In their 40s, 50s. It's okay. Like, life is all about continued improvement as long as you're alive, to me. And I know at some point in my life, I probably want to get a master's degree when it makes sense. After I'm done paying the debt that I that I take on for this degree, I will probably go back to school and get a master's degree, maybe. It's a gamble, but it's also a calculated gamble. This is all in regards to the loan, garnishing, payment, and so forth and so on. The game that the government is playing with, I would say with us, is very interesting. With school, every year school is guaranteed to increase because the wages of their staff is increasing. Of their staff, professors want more money. Technology in the classrooms needs to be replaced. Those Canvas platforms, the schools doesn't own them. I'm sure it's a private company and they are leasing it. Most schools now use Canvas to provide you with the online courses. I don't know how the book deals work if they are leasing out those books in order to have them in their schools, and that's another fee. Maintenance of the campuses, the staff, benefits. It's a whole bunch of calculations that goes into making sure that a university provides good education. And year over year, they have to increase how much money they're making. So it's a guarantee that school will keep going up and up unless the government steps in and do something about it. And that is likely not to happen. Not going to happen. Also, our loans being forgiven is likely not going to happen because the U.S. government is backing all these loans. And if they default on it, that means that the U.S. government would have to pay the trillions of dollars in student loans that exist out there. I think people have different opinions on this. And the millions of loan borrowers facing garnishment starting January 7th, I am sure that impacts a lot of people. Imagine, you get this fancy degree and you cannot find a job, you are underemployed, and then they're gonna take 15% out of your $25 an hour job, out of your $17 an hour job. How can you move out for real? How can you have a kid for real? All those things go into, the things that our generation currently face. It's like, it's harsh. It's really bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know. There is. I recently saw this. I don't know how true it is. Take it with a grain of salt. And I think having experience will help you with this, because if you have experience, you'll have time to build your credit. Is one. You will have time to have a job, proof of income. That's two. And having those two things, you can apply for loans, business loans, form an LLC. So I seen this. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it might be the new meta. You go to school, those loans cannot be forgiven. Once you get your degree, you graduate, you get an LLC. You get a loan from a bank and whatnot. You use the loan money to pay off your student loans, and then you declare bankruptcy on the private loan that you got. You can't repay it. I mean, you because you can declare bankruptcy on a private loan, just not your student loan. It's kind of it's kind of genius. I don't know if it's legal or illegal. If that's you, that's you. Do it at your own risks. Sometimes when you do take private loans, I know that sometimes they tell you that you cannot repay certain stuff with that, and I think student loans is one of them. Actually, also I think credit cards is another one, and I know this because I work at a financial institution. I know. When you take like a private loan, sometimes they block you from using it towards certain stuff. You can only use it towards personal purchases, like if you're doing remodel in your house, or I don't know, your car broke down and you need a new engine, stuff like that. So you might be violating the terms and conditions of your loan if you use it to repay student loans. But do it at your own risk. But that's something that I read. I just wanted to share that.